So yeah, so we're here, start, we fade out, and then we're in. Hello there, and today we're going to work on our space game again, and we're going to add a selection screen to the game to actually get the players to be able to select the characters they want. So the first thing we're going to do is create another room. I'm going to call this it's basically our select room. We're going to make it pretty large, and we're going to change other things with the game as well. So we'll just leave this at, or we'll put this at 60. We actually want it to kind of match this room here as far as background color. All right. I'm going to create views. Don't really need to do that, but we're going to anyway. And in the room, we're going to add the background controller, so our stars are still there. One of the other things we're going to do is switch our game. If we haven't already done that, we'll go back and look. We want to make sure our game is not using anti-alias. So if when you have the main room, so we'll go ahead and make the select room. Here's the select room. We'll move it up. We run the game. All right. Did I not? To views. Make visible when it starts. Let's do that again. So the background looks really pretty wild. Not sure if we want to keep it that way. This is actually a result of us zooming out and the anti-aliasing. So if we go back here and switch, get rid of the anti-aliasing and run it again, we have a background. It's a little slow. You can see it a little bit moving a little bit, flickering. So we'll just go with that. So the next thing we're going to do is create a font. Or I guess we don't need a font. A sprite for our button. We're just gonna make the outside yellow, the inside green, or maybe a dark green, or something like that. This one isn't gonna be pretty. Ew, it's way too bright of yellow. Yeah, we'll do that for right now. And then we'll take the font. It's too small. Go up here. Actually, can we set the font? Oh, set the font here. I'm gonna set to 12. And you can, this is just one way of, there's many ways to do menus, but this is what we're going to do for the game. Create an object. I'm going to add an event to make sure it's centered when the game starts. And we're going to add some effects for the mouse over. So mouse, we're going to need a mouse enter, a mouse leave, and a mouse left, mouse left, click pressed. Okay. So enter, we're going to go over here, our controls. I usually don't use the controls too much, but we're going to change the scaling and make sure it gets transformed back to 1. And I'm going to copy the one when we leave and when we press it. I'm going to create that. So over here, we're also going to create a transition object for moving from one room to the other. Okay. Also create for this specific navigation room, we're actually going to create a sprite for it. We'll call it a fade sprite. Make it 1 by 1. Just make it white. For the fade object, we're going to do a create. And then set it how fast we're going to leave the room. create a step event. And once we fade out, we're going to go over here and leave. Go to the next room is what we're doing. Change the depth to like negative 10,000. Make it in front of everything. You can use the GUI if you want to, but I'm going to just use the draw event. Because we're going to tile it. Start up in the upper left. And since it's tiled, we don't have to do anything special. We're going to... Yeah, well, we're going to leave it a white. Even though it's white. Yeah, we'll just fade to black, I guess. Well, we'll go back to here since we've created this transition object to actually perform the transition. We'll create the, when we transform the sprite, we'll also then just create the instance of the transition. Now what we could do with this here, I guess, make it a little fancier, make a fade color. And then that way we can assign it depending on which room we want. If we're going to have multiple rooms or multiple places we're going to fade in and out of. So we know it's defaulted to black. We'll make it navy just so you can see that it changes. So our next room when we fade on the screen will be our battle room. And then we are, see, controller, this is our battle room, so we don't need to be there. Back to our select room. I'm going to create our start object. Wait, yeah. And this just needs to be somewhere in the screen because it's going to move accordingly. I'm actually going to make this bigger. If we put it down here, it'll just automatically move it. So let's make sure this is all working like the way we want it. Yeah. So starts, I think, oh, because we're scaling it in our button move, we have to be careful with that. There, it fades out and then goes to the game. So because we're scaling it, we would have to scale in here to keep the same size. So yeah, so we're here, start, we fade out, and then we're into the game. So for, that's what we'll do for right now. And then next time we'll actually add the select, the different fighters to pick from and be able to change which character we're at. So until next time, good luck coding.